I am Konkona Datta. Today I am going to share some few words with you on loop in C. First, we have to know why we will go for loop. That is why we will use loop. Suppose, take this example. Suppose if I say print hello using a C program. Then what happen? We will just write printf within main. We will just write printf function, and within the printf function we will write hello. Okay. And now if I say print write a C program to print hello 4 times, then what happened? We have to use printf function how many times? 4 times. If I say write a C program to print hello 10 times, then we have to use printf function 10 times. But if I say print write a C program to print hello 100 times or 1000 times, then it will be impossible, almost impossible to use the printf function 100 times or 1000 times. Okay, so because it will take more time and more places. Okay, so to remove this problem, we have to use loop. To remove this limitation, um, C provides a concept which is called loop. And now, so what is the need of loop, or why we will go for loop? In which situation we will use loop? If I want to perform this same task in repeated manner, repeatedly, okay, then we will go for loop. In case of previous program, if I want to print hello 100 times, then same task we will go how many times? I want to do it 100 times. So, in this situation, we never use printf function 100 times. We only write it only single time, and but hello will be printed 100 times using a loop. Okay, we can do that. Now, there are three types of loops in C language: while loop, for loop, and do while loop. And each and every loop has four parts. First one is initialization of the loop variable. Second one is condition checking part. Third one is execution of the body. And last one is updation of the loop variable. It may be updation means it may be increment, maybe decrement. Okay. So each and every loop, it may be while loop or for loop or do while loop. Each and every loop has four parts: initialization the loop variable, first part; second part is condition checking part; third part execution of the body; and last part is updation of the loop variable. Updation includes increment, it may be increment or maybe decrement. Now these are the syntax of three loops, and while, for, and do while all are keywords. And we know that each and every loop has four parts. I have already told it. Initialization, in case of while loop, we have to put the initialization part outside of the loop, and after that, within the while, we have to put the test condition. Actually, initialization of the loop variable means it is indicating the starting point of the loop, from where our journey will be started. That will be determined by initialization part. And next part is condition, test condition. And in case of while loop, test condition must be written here. Okay, while test condition. Based on the test condition, it will be take the decision by this compiler that how many times this loop will be continued. How many times this loop will be continued. And if test condition That is, if it returns a true value, then body of the loop will be executed, and if it returns a false value, the body of the loop cannot be executed successfully. Okay. And next one is execution of the body. The space which is enclosed by opening curly brace and closing curly brace is called body of the loop. Okay, and here we have to put the main logic. That is, if I want to print hello 100 times, then here we have to put hello. Okay. And next one is within the body part, here also we have to put updation of the loop variable. Based on our programming need, we have to take the decision. It will be loop variable will be incremented or decremented. Okay, so this is the syntax of while loop. And next one is for loop. In case of for loop, in case of while loop, initialization part is written outside of the loop. Okay, but in case of for loop, initialization, test condition, and updation, all parts must be written here. Okay, and all these three parts must be separated by semicolon operator. Okay, and in here you have to first write initialization, after that test condition, after that application, and this is the body of the loop. Okay, and in case of do while loop, just like while loop, in case of do while loop also, we have to first put initialization outside of this loop, and after that do while. So first we have to put the do part, after that we have to put while part, and within the while we have to put the test condition, and within the do part there must be the body of the loop, and within the body part we have to put the updation part. Okay, so in case of, if we notice carefully, we can see that in case of while and for loop, our condition must be checked during the entry time. That is, based on the condition, compiler will take the decision that loop will be executed or not in case of while and for loop, because first test condition will be checked in these two cases, and if they are true, if the condition is true, then only the body of the loop will be executed, otherwise not. And this condition, test condition, must be checked during the entry time. So that's why while and for loops are called, while and for loops are called entry controlled loop, because during the entry time it will be decided that during the entry time our condition is checked. Okay, and based on the condition, compiler will take the decision loop will be executed or not. But in case of do while loop, what happened? During the exit time, not entry time, during the exit time, our during the exit time our test condition will be checked. That is, in this case, in case of do while loop, body must be executed at least once, at least once. In case of do while loop, body must be executed at least once, because there is no conditions are associated with do. Condition is associated with while. So first body will be, as there is no condition, so body will be executed first, and after that based on the programming need, loop variable updation will be done, and after that during the exit time test condition will be checked. If it returns a true value, if test condition will be true, then only do body of the loop will be executed for the second time, otherwise loop will be terminated. But in case of while and for loop, what happened? Test condition, based on the test condition, compiler will take the decision loop will be executed for first time or not. So in case of do while loop, as test condition is checked during the exit time, that's why it is called exit controls loop. But in case of while and for loop, during the entry time, test condition will be checked. That's why they are called entry controls loop. This is the difference number one. Difference number two is, in case of do while loop, body of the loop must be executed at least once. Okay, and after that, based on the test condition, it will be decided by the compiler that loop will be continued for the second time or not. But in case of while and for loop, as they are called entry control loop, so during the entry time it will be decided that loop will be executed for the first time or not. Okay, if test condition will be false, then loop cannot be executed for a single time also. Okay, so this is the difference number two. So these two are major differences between entry controls loop and exit controls loop. Okay, now using a single example, I am going to discuss three loops separately. Okay, now here here I am going to print from 1 to n using three loops individually. Okay, first come to this part. This is the while loop. So within the main function, here we are here I declare two variables, two integer type variables, I and n, and after that enter n, that is using the scanf function we can take a value for n. Suppose the value of n is 3, and using this scanf function we can take a value for n during the runtime. So assume that this value is 3, and we know each and every loop has four parts, and in case of while loop, first part is initialization part, and it must be written outside of the loop. It must be written outside of the loop. And so what happened, so after that, so here our, actually I have already told you, that is initialization of loop variable, actually it means it is indicating that it is the starting point of our journey. So here our target is I want to print from 1 to n, that is here n is 3, so 1 to 3 I want to print. Value of n may be anything as per user choice or programmer choice. Okay, but here as per this example, as n is 3, it means we want to print from 1 to 3. Okay, so here our starting point is, that is our journey will be started from 1. That's why loop variable is initialized by 1. After that, we know we have to put the test condition with while. Okay, so here we are putting the test condition. Actually it is indicating the terminating point. Actually we have to move from 1 to 3, so we have to move up to 3. So our journey will be started from 1 and it will be continued up to 3. So here this loop will be continued how many times? For 3 times. For I equals to 1, for I equals to 2, and for I equals to 3. And first time I is 1. So I is 1, n is 3. So 1 is less than equals to 3. This condition is true. As this condition is true, so body of the loop is executed. If we notice carefully, we can see that during the entry time, this condition is checked, as it returns a false false value. That's why this routine, the body of the loop will be executed for the first time. Okay, so here we are printing the value of I. Initial value of I is 1, so 1 will be printed. We will get this one. After that, after printing 1, next time for next iteration we are going to print 2. So that's why the value of I must be incremented by 1 for next iteration. Okay, so value I plus plus means old value of or present value of I plus 1, that will be the new value of I. Present value of I is 1 plus 1, so 2 will be the new value of I. And again this loop will be continued until or unless this condition will be felt. So now for the second time this loop will be continued for value equals to for I equals to 2. So 2, if 2 is less than equals to 3, so 2 is less than equals to 3, this condition is true or false? This is true, as it returns true value. So again for the second time, for second iteration, again while loop will be continued and here 2 will be printed, and again the value of I will be incremented by 1. That is present value of I is now 2. 2 plus 3, that will be 3. So for third iteration the value of I will be 3. Now 3 must be compared with n, that is 3. So 3 is less than equals to 3. Yes, condition is true. So for the third time again the body of the while loop will be executed and 3 will be printed. And after that value of I, value of loop variable, again incremented by 1, that is it will become 4. So and again it will come here for checking the condition, but here it will become false because 4 is not less than equals to 3. So due to failure is this condition, this loop will be terminated. Okay, and as an output we will get 1, 2 and 3. Now I am going to explain the same example using the for loop. Okay, now okay, now here also, like just like previous one, here also I am declaring two integer variables I and n, and again I here using this scanf function, here we can take a value for n. This value may be anything. Assume that here also we are taking 3 for n. Okay, and in case of for loop, in case of for loop, initialization part must be written with for, not outside of the for. Okay, so that's why this is the initialization part of the loop variable. So our journey, that is the starting point of our journey. That is our journey will be started from 1. That's why I is initialized by 1 and it will be continued up to n. Here n is 3, that is up to 3, and each and every time the value of I will be incremented by 1. Okay, so first time the value of I equals to 1, so 1 is less than equals to 3, condition is true. As condition is true, the body of the loop will be executed, and and this percentage d is replaced by value of present value of I, that is 1, and we will get this 1 as an output. After that again this condition will be checked until or unless this will be felt. Okay, so but before checking the condition, the obviously the value variable will be incremented by 1, that is it will be 2. So 2 is less than equals to 3. Yes, condition is true. As condition is true, so again body of the for loop will be executed, and this time this percentage d is replaced by present value of I, that is 2. So as an output 2 will be printed. Again this loop, again control comes here and value of I will be incremented by 1, that is it will become 3. Now again condition is checked, that is 3 is less than equals to 3. Yes, condition is true. So if for the third time the value of I will be printed. So present value of I is 3. So this percentage D is replaced by 3. So after that again control comes here and value of I will be 4. It will be incremented by 1 and it will become 4. Now 4 must be compared with the value of n, that is 4 is less than equals to 3. No, condition will become false, will be false, and due to failure of this condition, the for loop will be terminated, and as an output we will get 1, 2, 3. But if we notice carefully, we can see that in both the cases, the initialization part must be executed exactly once, but condition checking part and updation part must be, not must be, may be executed more than once. But initialization part must be executed exactly once, and based on the condition, compiler will take the decision that updation part and condition checking part will be executed for how many times. Okay, now come to the third loop, that is do while loop. Now I am going to discuss the same problem, same program using the do while loop. So these first three lines remain same, just like previous while loop and for loop. That is, we are taking first, we are declaring two variables I and n, and after that during the runtime using this scanf function we will be able to take a value for n. Here also we are taking 3 for n, and just like while loop, I have already told it, just like while loop, initialization part here also will be written outside of the loop. That is, our starting point is 1, so I, that is loop variable, must be initialized by 1. After that, do here there is no condition, there is no condition with do, so directly body of the loop will be executed for first iteration, and present value of I will be printed. Present value of I is 1, so 1 will be printed. After that, value of loop variable will be incremented by 1, that is, it will become 2. And after, during the exit time, this condition will be checked under while. Okay, so present value of I is 2, so 2 is less than equals to 3. Condition is true or false? Condition will is true. So as condition is true, so what happened, this loop will be continue for the second time. So again control comes here and body of the loop will be executed for second time, and value of present value of I will be printed, that is, we will get 2. And after that again the value of loop variable will be incremented by 1 and it will become 3. Now again the condition, during the exit time this condition will be checked, that is, present value of I is 3 and value of n is 3, so 3 is less than equals to 3. Yes, condition is true. As condition is true, so again the body of the loop will be executed for third time and present value of I, that is 3, will be printed. Okay, and we will get 3. And after that again the value of I will be incremented by 1, that is, it will be 4. And during the exit time again this condition will be checked, that is, present value of I is 4. 4 is less than equals to 3. The value of n remains unchanged, that is 3. So 4 is less than equals to 3. Due to failure of this condition, the body of do cannot be executed for fourth time. This loop will be terminated, and as an output we will get 1, 2 and 3. So in all the cases, that is, for 3 loops we will get the same output, that is 1, 2 and 3, but their are different, and while and for these two loops These two are the example of entry control loop, because during the entry time the condition is checked, and based on that condition compiler will take the decision that loop will be executed for the for the first time, or for the first time, yes or no. But in case of do while loop, first body of the loop will be executed. After that, during the exit time, the condition will be checked, and based on that condition it will be decided by the compiler that loop will be continued for second time or not. Okay, so these are the fundamental concepts of these three loops in C. Okay, and in the next class we will discuss more examples on the same topic, that is C, a loop in C. Okay, thank you so much.